Well, it's been a quiet week here in Lake Scabagon, my hometown. This week, the Squids talk podcasting for profit, the rights you earn with a college degree, and then they are joined by Thom Daugherty from the Elms. Topics include electrolytes, tour life, the superiority of physical media, Glen Phillips, getting music on video games, Bandcamp demo discoveries, and more.
Hello, and welcome to this edition of A Pickle Home Companion.
We're so glad you joined us. Thank you for coming this evening.
Today on A Pickle Home Companion, it's unlike any other edition that we've ever had here before. Exactly, silence.
Yes, for the next 22 minutes, I'll say a word, and then we'll all sit back and ponder that word and see what it reveals to us.
What is that word, Jared?
Snickerdoodle.
Delicious. I can't.
All right, that's all we got.
That was amazing.
Welcome back to 98.4.
With Kevin and the Coog. Oh, my goodness.
Wild Bill and the Coyote.
Oh, you know what?
Ooh.
Trajectory. I think Pickle and Boot Shop, they're going upwards. We are going
down.
No, know what? I like to say it's more of a even plane.
We're in the same place we were last time.
Oh my word. When you
Maybe we'll be there again.
When you said Snickerdoodle, I couldn't hold it in. I'm like, damn, I didn't know what was going to happen, but here we were.
I was like, I don't want to say pickle. I don't want to say squid. What's a new word I could use for our podcast?
The password is Snickerdoodle.
Yes.
Oh, so good. Oh my word. How's it going, man?
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been busy.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
I bet very busy now with school's back in session and all that good jazz.
That's turned things up a notch, yeah. Aggravatingly so. It's filled up my days where there's no breaks.
Sheesh.
And I don't get everything done I need to do.
I hear you.
And then my kids are busy when I get done with work.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't even have two extra humans to care for and nurture.
It's very inconsiderate of them to have their own interests and hobbies.
How dare they be human beings and individuals?
Don't they? No, I'm trying to build my calendar around this not-for-profit podcast.
Don't they?
And I don't mean that in the mission sense, as if we're a not-for-profit, as we have some better cause. That's just an objective observation that we are not making any profit.
A Pickle Home Companion 401c3.
Yes.
A division of Majoko.
We would be okay with this being a very for-profit endeavor, but it's not. It's not for profit.
Alas, here we are. Yes. Wait, you're not making any profit?
I can't ever get the transfer to work from the Patreon. I don't know why. I thought I set it up, but
maybe I gave them my bank account information. I don't know.
Yeah, it does seem to be going one way. Any money,
you know. I am a Nigerian prince. Some people might say. Okay.
Are we doing this wrong? That can't be it, right?
Well, that can't be. No, that can't be it. You haven't been sliding into DMs saying that you need gift cards sent to you.
That's
and hello, my name is Muhammad Ali. I am a very real boxer.
You may have heard of me.
Or hello, my I don't know, but you know what I mean? Like those people that are getting all their like, hello, yes. I am blank, and you're like, well, that person's been dead for many years.
Or the bands that are doing it now. It's like, hello, I am Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance, and I need a $10 gift card.
I've gotten many from John Foreman, and I brought it up to him last time I saw him. I was like, if you're so hard up for money, no, yeah. I didn't really.
You're like, John, I thought Switchfoot was doing better than this.
I mean, right, but
Thought it was
Alas,
outperforming a pickle home companion, but maybe
that's
not.
we don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
Could be wrong.
But could be right.
Did you listen to the new Pickle and Boot Shop talking about companions?
Wait. Yeah. Yes.
The bonus was funny.
Oh yeah. I did. I think.
When
What?
way
Go
back
back.
at the beginning of it, that's when what was it? Oh, they talk about Joe pooping or something. And they're like, that's what people give us their hard-earned money for. And I was like, actually, that's pretty accurate.
It's actually spot on. Is what we get.
That is basically what we're
We
doing here.
we know what we've signed up for, right?
Yeah, it's for
Wait.
the poop stories.
Wait. Are we talking about our overlords? Is that what happens when Brock and Kevin are on the pod?
Yeah, I thought it'd be fun to
Well,
discuss our companion. Or
hi.
the podcast we are a companion of, to, for, with.
Wherefore,
Yes.
concordantly,
We're on a similar trajectory.
air
Maybe
to,
down, maybe up.
ergo vis-a-vis, concordantly.
Privileges and rights hitherto pertaining they're done too. Like when you graduate.
TM, TM, TM. Hey, you know what I like to say? Some people graduated magna cum laude. Some people graduated summa cum laude. I graduated, thank the Lord. That's right.
Sir,
That's
sir,
right.
you ripped that bit off of
Thank you.
one Mr. Mark Lowry.
And I still am waiting for that bobblehead.
Same.
I know.
Same.
Oh, goodness
Have you ever
gracious.
gotten to exercise any of the rights that came with your college degree?
I exercise every day. But I don't know about any rights that went with my college degree.
You know how they say that during a commencement, like a graduation, when they actually do the conferring of the degrees, when the provost or whoever stands up there
Oh,
and does
right,
that
right,
bit
right,
where like you
right.
officially are granted your degree, and they
Hmm.
say, like granted to you and whatever, and all the privileges, rights, responsibilities thereby pertaining unto or something like that. But I just wonder what those rights are.
Well, I have the right to remain silent.
But you
Any
don't need a
words?
degree for that.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Oh, shoot.
What are
Okay.
our special rights for our
Well,
degree?
the roofers' rights.
Hmm.
So I think my right, because I was a communications major, I have the right to communicate, and I herefore here
Oh,
too in this podcast communicate on a almost weekly basis, except when I'm going to see the Who.
the who? Who was that?
Exactly.
Yeah, let's see. First time I was a licensed health and physical educator in the state of
Mm,
North Carolina. So,
okay.
does that mean I can talk to people about their health and physical education at any time and they have to listen?
This is going to be very weird, but very on brand. You can physically educate anybody that you like
That's right.
with their consent.
That's part of the education
That's
process.
right.
Yeah, it's right there.
Just a little shout out to our boys Joe and Reese. That seems like a joke they would make. Okay.
I think so. Yeah. What does a sport management degree give you rights to? Can I
You
go
can.
manage any event? If I'm at the
Hey,
Super Bowl, am
hey,
I in charge?
you're in charge. Hey, people, I have a sport management degree.
I've been under exercising those rights.
Mm.
Looks like a Heaven Hill right there, sir.
You poured something, right? So I had to pour a little something, a little Heaven
I
Hill.
I'm Brock sober. I'm
Oh,
just a zero sugar Dr. Pepper.
all right. Then I'm gonna pour this water.
I know.
That's right. I can only do a little bit because I'm
I
also trying to just do some water and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm trying to drink more other things that aren't alcohol. I hear it's
Right.
good for you.
I hear it's great for me, and that's why usually have a big old mug of good old H2O, but it's
It's a good
empty.
mug.
So I just grabbed the water bottle before I came downstairs because I didn't have my big mug.
Like it.
This is all great content. I hope Kevin just leaves all of it in.
I don't know. After those guys listen to it, they might be too intimidated to join next.
That's right. That's right. We got this. A
Oh,
conversation that no one else will ever listen to.
correct.
Or we'll stop listening to our podcast after.
When this comes out, you'll be at Thunderfest, right?
I think so? Question mark?
I think so.
Will I have to bring my copy of Extreme Days?
I'll assume it's in your cargo pants pocket.
Oh, and my
That's what
copy
those are
of
for.
Squad 50 is here to stay. Available wherever you
That's
get your media.
that's why you've got a pocket on both legs, one for each DVD/Blu-ray.
DVD slash and or Blu-ray.
You think they make Jinko cargo pants that would fit Brock's vinyl?
I want to say yes.
They probably do. You can probably buy them at Urban Outfitters right now
I hope so.
because it's a 90s thing coming back. But that's what Brock needs to look into is some Jinko cargo shorts, pants. And then he could for sure fit a like a 7-inch in there.
Oh, at least. Hey, oh. My gosh.
I know I can.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. How you do? How you
Time
do?
out, Kevin. Don't put it
Time
in
out,
our,
Kevin.
We're not that other podcast.
No, this isn't like Lou asking
for
your favorite
for
sexual
the family. We have a responsibility to Oliver.
Oliver. Oh, Oliver. I missed calls from Oliver.
He's too busy starting school. Did you see that? No, it was on the Facebook. I
gotta
saw
go look.
posted it.
I gotta
First
go
day
look.
of school. Yeah.
My nephew starts first grade tomorrow.
Wow, we are so far ahead of everybody. We started. When did my girls start? We started on the 13th of August.
Wow.
They've been in school for weeks now. Weeks. It's been
How many Adirondack chairs is that?
how many can you fit in 1 week? Well, I got something here that I was waiting for Brock, but I'm gonna do it.
No, he's coming. He's coming. He said he's almost booted up.
But Tom's in the waiting room already. Not Brock.
Man,
Look at these.
Dum Dums. Oh, Flavor Bolt.
Do you see what flavor that is?
Pickle. The password.
I'm gonna try one of these live
Pickle.
in the future.
In the year 2000. In the year 2000.
It looks like a bright candy, like a green apple.
It smells like.
I don't smell anything.
You might have COVID.
Yeah, it's definitely pickle.
Okay.
But with sugar on top, like sugar coated pickle.
Oh. Sugar coated pickles.
It's a dill pickle, but like with a sweet finish. I like this. See, my problem with most dill pickles is I like them very tart and sour.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes they start off that way and then they don't finish as sharp as I'd like.
Sure.
So I feel like this Dum Dum, by the way, that's what I'm eating. Pickle flavored Dum Dums.
Not just, thank you for not calling me a Dum Dum.
I'm not eating it. I'm licking it. On the bag, that's a pickle submarine.
We all live in a pickle submarine.
This is pretty tasty. I'm considering bringing this bag to Furnace Fest so I can share them with all the people.
Please do. I would enjoy that thoroughly.
Where's Brock?
He said I'm in now, but not admitted.
I'm going to admit Tom and work on Brock. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to leave him hanging.
Fine. Yep. Oh, shoot.
What's up?
How we doing?
Hey, how's it going?
All right, man. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Welcome.
Good.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Where's Brother Brock?
We're waiting on him. He said he's here, but we just logged in too, so we're trying to figure that all out.
Okay.
We're not usually this technologically inept, but today apparently.
No, dude. I mean, I'm a recording engineer for a living now, and you'd think that I'm using my laptop mic for this. Is that okay? Like,
we can hear you fine. Yeah,
you sound good.
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay, I mean, you just think doing what I do that I'd have a microphone set up, and I'm like, why didn't I figure that out before? I don't do a whole lot of this. So, hey, Brock, what's up, man?
There we go.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
Sorry
man.
to keep you guys waiting. I was probably waiting for whatever the last show that we recorded together was. That's the one that I was waiting for.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. See calendar, click link.
I just got the email that said you're in the.
Wait, which one was that? Last week's?
Yeah, you were. You were in last week's.
Sorry,
it was. Yeah, I just got the email notification that you were waiting.
So that's the kind of fun you're about to have here.
You know what I got here, Brock? Pickle flavored Dum Dum.
Yeah, the pickle Dum Dums. You were telling us about this. How are they?
It's good.
Is it? Is it sweet?
At the end, it's like pickle, and then it finishes sweet like a regular Dum Dum.
So Tom, we weren't
good.
kidding when we talk about being a pickle home companion. This is as true to our name as we've been for quite some time.
Well, here's the deal. Please, no offense, but I don't like pickles. I never have. But
No offense taken.
um, I've been told lately that if you're ever dehydrated, that the thing that you need to do if you start getting muscle cramps is to drink pickle juice, and that you get a blast of electrolytes from that. Do those have electrolytes in them?
That's the question.
This is a good point. I think they have sugar in them.
Does sugar have electrolytes?
I don't think so, but it has sugar, corn syrup, natural flavor. There's salt in there.
Hey,
and
Google.
Yellow 5 and blue 1. I don't think there's any pickles in here.
What was that, Tom? Sorry.
No, just as soon as they figure out how to make dum-dums out of pickle juice, I might be in.
There we go.
All right, I'm down. Yeah.
Finally, something to relax your muscles.
I did want to question. It says Flavor Vault. That would suggest that this used to be a flavor, right?
Oh, does that mean, or is that
Wouldn't
the
you
vault
think?
in which they place the flavors no one wants?
That's got to be it, because I've never heard of a pickle flavored Dum Dum till yesterday.
I'm assuming. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you've got them. I feel like that's already brought life to this pod in ways that it needs.
Wow. What a
Welcome,
greeting.
Tom.
What a
Sorry
greeting,
for
Tom.
the derail and pizza and bears for all of us. I can tell.
I'm the one that apologizes, and I'm not gonna this time, but I'm also sorry.
Everybody has a job. Pete's job is to apologize for any time an apology is necessary.
But not today. Okay, you're right. I can't hold it back. I'm sorry. Oh, Brock.
So it dropped out for you guys too.
No, he's back.
Is my internet being weird again?
Yeah, but it stopped.
No, you're back now, bud.
Okay. All right. You know what? I am going to drill a hole in my ceiling and run a cable down through it and plug my computer in. At some point, I'm going to be hardwired for this.
Right now? I hope not. No. Maybe later. We'll
at
try
some
it
point.
Right, okay.
Thom Daugherty from the Elms. Welcome.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing
Excellent.
okay. Thank you for joining us on Pickle Home
Yeah.
Companion. It's
Good to be here.
We're missing Kevin. Kevin's voice is notably absent from this one, so the Kevin heads will be writing in what's happened to Kevin. What'd you do with Kevin? We'll bring him back, we promise. But Tom, you have been with the Elms for 25 years. Is this right?
Yeah, I joined September of 2000. So yeah, it's been, gosh, that's crazy. I cannot believe that much time has passed. Yeah, September 2000. So the band made an EP before I joined, right?
That's right. I've got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I mean, I've known those guys forever. Owen's been my best friend since the 4th grade, and his little brother is our drummer, so I've known him equally as long. So I was familiar with everything that they're up to, and they put that EP out, and I think that the guys in the band, the other guys in the band, the guitar player and the bass player, just didn't want to be on the road for like 220 plus dates a year, right? So I remember he called one day while I was working at a guitar shop and going to school. He's like, my brother and I signed a record deal to Sparrow. The other guys don't really want to be out this much. We've always talked about being in a band together since we were kids. Like, would you do this? And I quit my job, dropped out of school, moved to Indiana 3 days later, and here we are. I mean, I've been a Hoosier ever since then. So I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to remember, you're not from Indiana originally.
No, I grew up in Joplin, Missouri, like in the
That's right.
southwest corner of the state, the Ozarks, as they call them.
So not too far away from Indiana, but notably hillier.
Yeah, it depends on which part because there are hilly parts of Indiana. You're going to go hang out in Brown County while you're down here, aren't you? Did you tell me
I'm
that?
gonna drive around a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I hope you love that because it's beautiful. But yeah, I'd say most of Missouri is quite a bit hillier. We've got our hilly terrain in Indiana though. It's not all flat.
Right. No, I'm going out, like you say, to see the Elms 25. And so anybody who wants to go on Saturday night can't go. It's sold out. That's the most important thing to know first. But there has been a second night added. So Elms 25 is now a 2-night event, and Sunday night, still tickets available. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't know how many. We had a rehearsal the other night. No one's like, it's really close, and I would really love to say that it's sold out, but he's like, we got a handful of tickets. So, I mean, hopefully between now and then, do you guys want to come? You guys flying out for it?
They ought to come.
I would absolutely love to if I could.
Bring some pickle dum dums.
That's right.
Yeah, bring those pickle dum dums,
I've
Jared.
got enough for everybody. Yeah.
I will
I
buy you all the
oh
pickle dum-dums you can hold if you guys come out to join for this
don't
show. It's gonna be great.
don't you
Um,
know? I wish I could.
Same.
Because oh man, am I so and yeah.
yeah, no, but Elms 25 is a big thing. I don't know that we knew that we were getting more Elms. It seemed like the lid was on it. It was done. You guys did a great job with that DVD, The Last Band on Earth. Was that your last show?
Yeah, and that was what? No. Let me think here. That was 2010,
Okay.
and that was like our last show while the band was, while we considered it active. But 5 years later, we did a benefit at the Hi-Fi, the same place that we're playing.
Okay.
It was a smaller version of this club. So we did that in 2015, and we meant to do a 20th reunion in 2020, but COVID,
Right,
Right.
right.
It wasn't the
um,
time.
yeah. And it was like last year, Owen hit me up and said, "Hey, man, like 2025 would be our 25th anniversary. Like, would it make sense to do another show?" And I mean, I'm always going to say yeah to that. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for real. No, so in 2020, what I did was I think that was when both the box set, the vinyl set from the Elms came out for all the studio albums, and then the Last Band on Earth DVD. I believe that was also made available at that time, and I forget if that was available before. It must have been, but I think I was poking and prodding and saying, "Hey, where do I find this?" I don't think I'm not saying it was my responsibility, but someone said, "Hey, let's put these things up on the internet for sale." So in 2020, I watched that show on DVD, and I was like, "Man, I wish I had been there."
I don't think I have a copy of that, Brock. So I might have to
I'll
borrow
I'll send
yours,
you one.
man. All
I'll
right.
send you one. Yeah, but no, the show and just like the records themselves are incredibly viscerally energetic. It's a guitar band. I think you and I were talking about earlier, and that's kind of the thing that for as many guitars as there were in the contemporary Christian market, there weren't that many guitar bands, and probably there are a lot of guys that probably were like able and capable of shredding that just weren't given the runway. But the Elms carved out an interesting niche. And I know, some of those records were CCM records and some of them were general market records. But I'm curious just what your experience was being who you are as a guitarist. And did you feel constrained? Did you feel like you could go farther, faster?
I don't think we ever felt constrained. I like nobody at Sparrow was telling us to do anything different than what we
Yeah.
were doing, which was nice. And I think we were just into rock and roll, and we happened to grow up in the church, So if you're Christians and you make music, it just seems logical that you go to the Christian music industry,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
And so yeah, I mean, I think Sparrow believed in what we're doing, and like we're happy to let us just go do like what came natural to us. But I guess I would say that like we got out there on the road. Our very first tour was with the Newsboys. It was like this. It was
Oh
literally a
yeah.
traveling circus called Festival con Dios.
Yep.
Yeah. Is that the
And
inflatable dome tour?
That
no,
was
that was it
no.
was
No.
it was before that.
Okay.
That was Love Liberty Disco. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember us getting out on the road playing, and we're into Zeppelin, we're into Pearl Jam, Tom Petty, we're into Oasis. Um and we're just getting out and playing our guitars. And I think we go out and play, think we have a great set, go to our merch table, and like nobody's coming back to see us. And then our friends in another band, Super Chick, got up on stage. They're like roller skating on stage. They're
Right.
popping up. A lot of call and response. Like back then, it was pretty. I don't know if anyone still does the, but
Right.
lots of
Right.
call
Right.
and
Right.
response.
Right.
And the second they're done, their merch tables, they're just getting clobbered.
Mobbed.
We're over there like watching 50 feet away, just completely lonely. And we're like, oh man, like we might not be in the right place. And I remember like a few days later, the Newsboys sound guy is kind of tuning the PA during the day. I go back and talk to him. He's like, I love your band. You guys are great. It's a shame you're going to break up about a year from now. And I'm like, what are you talking
Whoa.
about? He's like, oh, you guys are in the wrong place. Like you do not belong here at all. And so, we tried our best, just
Oh my
tr-
gosh.
tried to be who we were, tried to make records that we were excited about. And whenever it came time, Spare had an option to re-sign us or not. The president of our label, really cool guy, Peter York, was just like, um, let me back up just a hair, okay? Because we had just gotten
Yeah.
done doing a bunch of dates with Peter Frampton.
Oh,
Peter
Right.
Frampton is, it's like
right.
it's guitar music, it's rock and roll. and we 100% fit in on that.
Yeah.
You know, just because we were a guitar band, just like Peter. And so our label president's like, let me ask you guys something. If you had the choice next week to go out and do more dates with Peter Frampton or go out with the Newsboys, what would make more sense to you? We're like, oh, come on. He's like, well, that's what I'm saying. You guys are young, and you should make a run for this right now while you can. So, I don't know that it's like that we ever felt constrained or anybody was telling us to be something that we weren't. I think at the end of the day, it just seemed like the industry as a whole completely understood what we were trying to do. They just didn't really want it. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can tell you though, I know that it might have been frustrating in a sense being on that tour for the grand scheme of things, but that sampler, I didn't get to go to the tour because it didn't come up to the Adirondacks, but I got the sampler CD from that tour, and Hey Hey was on that, and that's where I like first actually heard your band and like actually started to. I'm like, and this is not just because you're on here, but I'm like, screw this other stuff. I dig this track, and I picked up your other stuff. So I want you to know that even though that might not have, worked out, however, I was a big sampler CD guy because I wanted to hear a bunch of new music, and Hey Hey was on that, and I'm like, I'm digging this. And then I got to go listen to the rest of the stuff, and you forget the single aside, the rest of it, I was digging it. So it was a byproduct,
No, dude. And the thing is, I look back on that whole time and I'm actually like really, really grateful for it. I mean,
Sure,
that's
of
like
course.
that was the start of everything for us, and if nothing else, it got us on the road for like several hundred dates a year. We got to
Right.
know a lot of great people, but I think that like maybe if we had had the chance to do it again, knowing what we knew, it's like, well, maybe it would have behooved us to like start in the mainstream or something.
Sure.
And like,
Mhm.
you got to build it brick by brick there too. But like maybe that would have made more sense. And in the end, it is what it is. And
Yeah.
I look back and life has been great. So I'm not,
Oh, and I didn't mean that to say like
no,
didn't feel grateful for it. I'm just like that's how I learned about you was through that CD. Maybe another couple of the other samplers at that time, but I vividly remember the Festival con Dios sampler because Switchfoot's You Already Take Me There is on there, and then you guys are on there, and I'm like, I dig
was
it.
Hirsuit on that?
Let me check. I got to bring
They
that up.
probably were. I mean, because I think the first time I heard Hey Hey, it was on the Simply Impossible
I had
sampler,
that one
which
too,
started with the
which
Earthsuit
also
track.
had
So yeah,
Switchfoot.
it was around the same time. Yeah.
So Simply Impossible must have been right where I first did it, but I have it up now. I just brought it up. It's Toby and their mashup, God Is Not a Secret, and then Big House, Wilderness, Super Chicks on their Switch, but T-Bone,
Mhm.
Is that Ride
and
With Me?
sorry, it just crashed.
Oh, no problem.
Yep, it
That's not
is.
the real question here.
It is Ride With Me.
Okay.
Yep. And then PAX 270, Earthsuit was on there. We had one time it's on there too.
Okay.
But it was that right around that Simply Impossible and Festival con Dios is when I started shaping some of my Christian music, if that makes sense, and that was what was up then. So,
What's crazy about this? Like, okay, yeah, my 7-year-old, my daughter,
hmm
she found a stack of CDs at my in-laws yesterday and brought them home with her. My wife sold CDs,
yeah,
and we're popping it like we still have a CD player in our car that works. So we're like, oh, what the heck, and it's just the experience of like getting tactile and putting a CD in a player.
Mhm.
And listen, I swear it sounds better too. I swear there's
so much
something
better.
about it that sounds more real. And it
Not
was a great
compressed, right?
experience. Yeah, but I was
Yeah.
also remembering, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot like this whole world existed. And I used to like go out every month and buy a college music journal
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
and get, there'd be like 20 new songs, 20 bands I'd never heard. There'd always be something of like Ben Folds 5 would have a
Right,
track on there, and then everything else is like something you never heard of before.
right.
And holding those CDs in my hands last night like took me back. I'm like, oh, this was such a great time for music.
Mhm.
And
Oh
I
yeah.
had a new favorite band every week. And
Yeah, man.
Or you throw it in the car CD player and it's like that car listen. Oh, nothing beats it.
I'm sure you've seen me online. I love physical media, and I think it's because of that. Just like the whole like this is my link to my past. This is big piece of who I am is what's in these grooves. There's something about just having a copy of it and putting on a copy, like holding it and putting it on the player, whatever it is that you're popping the cassette into the cassette player. There's something to it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I need to get back into it. It's going to take me a while to catch up with you, Brock, because you've got
Hey,
everything.
I don't
But
recommend it. It's terribly expensive.
yeah, we had burners back then too. Maybe I could borrow
Yeah.
some of them from you
Oh
and
yeah,
get out the
easily,
Sharpie and mark them up. And
easily.
so we'll
Yeah,
talk.
make
Bring
some
it back.
mixes.
Bring it
Yeah,
back. Bring it back to the
yeah.
old school. Yeah.
Well, there was definitely a different relationship too with like the music then too, when there was a little more effort. And then I think when you had the CDs, like we talked about before, they were expensive-ish. If you're a teenager or you're a kid spending 15, 17, whatever dollars they were. So if you got one, you're gonna
2 hours of labor for a CD.
right.
Yeah.
And so you're gonna listen to it a lot just to get your money's worth, whether you really like it or like you're gonna give it so many listens because you invested the $15. And then yeah, you read the liner notes and you looked at the pictures inside, you flipped through the like it was more than just the like let me scroll my phone, pick a song, hit it for 30 seconds, be like, I'm not interested in that band. And you can explore and find so many things easily now, but you can like move on so much quicker too, because there's no cost to it at all to whatever the $10 a month to have everything. And like I asked my daughter, I have a 15-year-old, and she doesn't listen to albums at all. And we've talked about it. She's like, why? I just like songs. And then I put them together in a
Why would I do
playlist.
that?
And it's like there I don't know how you recreate that unless you get a kid who wants to buy CDs of things or vinyl or tapes, Brock, whatever. But if you're just going on streaming, how would you develop that kind of like commitment to a whole album?
No, I was just thinking that because it was interesting to watch my daughter, like, like you said, if you're putting in a CD, you're listening start to finish,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so you're getting all the big hit singles, but you're getting all the deep album tracks too. And it was
Yep.
just really fascinating to watch her like go on the ride, you know? And she's like, got a radio in her room that has a CD player. She's like, can I take all of these in there and just listen to them anytime I want?
Come
And
on.
so I don't know. Maybe this is coming back,
Yeah,
guys.
I dig that. I dig that. What'd she think? What'd she think of that? That had she heard that music before? I mean, like, or what'd she think?
So listen, we listened to Britney Spears, Baby One More Time's record. Okay.
Classic. Yeah.
We listened to Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
Then today we listened to KT Tunstall,
Mhm.
the
Oh,
record that
Yes.
had
Suddenly I
Other
see.
Side of the World, Suddenly I See
Yeah,
Black Horse
yeah.
and Cherry
It's a
Tree.
great record.
Yeah.
Great era. Oh, good album.
Yeah. So and the thing is, if you look at her playlist that she's kind of like curated over the last she's over 200 singles now on her little
Mhm.
playlist,
Mhm.
and it's all over the place. It's White Stripes and Yeahs 1 minute. It's
Oh, come
K-pop
on.
Demon Hunters.
Mhm.
It's she's really like into everything.
That's
So
cool.
I don't know. I feel like I probably am going to end up needing to like find an old CD burner and make her like some of
Yeah.
these like old CD sampler playlists.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I feel like that's almost like the next like graduation for is like, okay, I know you're into all this stuff, but here, let me like put all these together in one for you.
Now that's
Mar-
what I call dad's picks.
oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's surprisingly she actually likes a lot of what I listen to. Like she's really into Nirvana.
Oh, good.
So I don't know. It was just exciting and interesting to me though to watch her like get into CDs like it's this brand new thing, and that's nuts.
That's very cool. No, I think that's really and to watch kids latch on to music. Like my sons are big Spice Girls fans. So the two biggest requests we have is either something off of one of the Spice Girls records, one of the two like full length records, or something from Sleigh Bells, which Sleigh Bells is like
Oh,
the
yeah,
opposite
yeah.
of Spice
Mhm.
Girls, but also like very much in their lane apparently of just like this is loud and it's kind of catchy and it's got a beat and that's what they're into. And I don't hate Sleigh Bells, but it's not. I've never never gravitated towards it. But to see what your kids like and to see like, how can I get them interested in music? And I always think like if this is what they're interested in, I'm going to let them follow that, because it can't hurt them, I don't think.
I can't imagine your kids not being into a little bit of everything just like you are. They don't really have a
Oh,
choice,
well, yes, except they protest so much. I try to play anything good in the car as we're going anywhere, and it's just no. I want to hear Spice Girls. I want to hear Sleigh
Sing,
Bells. That's
sing.
it.
All right, all
So
right.
your boys like chaotic, noisy music because Spice
I
Girls is
think
kind of
so.
chaotic, right? Because there's
Yeah.
so many voices doing things,
I
and
think the
then
Spice Girls are kind of punk. Like
yeah,
there's something about them that's just kind of like it's a the whole like don't tell me what to do sort of thing. Like that's very much them in spades. So
and then
I'm way more into it than I thought I would
but
be.
Sleigh
They also do a
Bells
great cover of Christmas Wrapping by who was that? Yeah, that they do a good cover of that.
and Sleigh Bells
They
is just
do.
noise, like with all sorts of sounds in the background with the melody.
Sleigh Bells is
It's good,
like 80 layers of one note, I
right?
think, largely, like most of their songs. So yeah. Tom, I was going to ask you just while we're talking about Hey Hey, I know a lot of folks probably got into the band because of that. Like every time I talk to someone, I'm going to see the Elms. You know the Elms? You don't know the Elms? You ever hear that song, Hey Hey? Oh yeah, you know the Elms. Um, I'm curious, like what are other things you'd recommend from the Elms catalog for people who maybe liked that but would like to dig deeper?
I mean, I'll say my personal favorite record was the Great American Midrange because that was
Mm,
us that
Mm.
that that was us sounding like, what I always thought we actually sounded like.
yeah,
But I would say it's always kind of surprising to me, but anytime I talk to somebody else, their favorite record of ours is usually the Chess Hotel.
Mm.
They feel like
yep,
that because that was the most representative of our live show, just kind of raw and unbridled. The way we made that record, like we intentionally made it very like scrappy. And I think that it reminded people of the live show because of that. So it's like while I would tell people, hey, go out and listen to the Great American Midrange because that's my favorite. I'm going to say that you should probably go out and listen to the Chess Hotel.
Okay.
yeah. And Chess Hotel to me, like it didn't sound exactly like White Stripes, but it felt like White Stripes, with that kind of that raw, unbridled energy sort of thing. Like you say, it sounds a bit more like the live show, maybe. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one. And I think for some reason, I don't know why I found a copy of it at Goodwill, like the year it was released, but it showed up on the shelves. It was like next to the Wallflowers, I got that and Bare Naked Ladies or something. And I was like, all right, more Elms, let's go. But it was like the year that it came out, I found a used copy, and so I'm sorry, I should have bought it firsthand, but
Whatever, dude.
but I was,
I've got booklets of like burn CDs, so I'm not
you
going to
know
say
how it
nothing.
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it was to me, I was like, because I had loved, the first two records. We saw you guys. I live in the Pacific Northwest. You guys didn't come out here that much, but there was a youth conference that was like, closed attendance or whatever. I was a youth intern, and I took some kids to this conference. You guys played. It was at a hotel in Portland, Oregon, on the Columbia
I
River.
remember this. Was it at a
Yeah.
place called Clackamas? Was it called
Yeah,
Clackamas?
it
Am I
was
pronouncing?
yeah, Clackamas is another town. It's south of Portland, but maybe you guys had like a couple of dates or something too.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I love it up there, and we did not play up there that much, and that's disappointing because I mean it's like there's nothing like the Pacific Northwest. So
Yeah.
uh,
And I think it was
I
raining that night probably.
I
Hmm.
feel like I'm picturing this conference. I do remember it, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, in a hotel like there's
Yeah.
Jansen Beach is the name of the little island that it was on, and maybe you guys stayed in Clackamas. I don't know. They probably had you all over the place
Okay.
because cheap hotels on the other side of town and everything. But no, it was cool because I think you guys had just dropped the Truth Soul Rock and Roll album, and Speaking in Tongues, great song. I would
Great
say
song.
of all your lead line, you got a lot of good lead lines, but that's a great lead line. It definitely sticks with me. And I think that one probably got some sampler play too, but definitely in terms of iconic leads, just like that doubled E that the thing starts with, it's beautiful. It's really tasty.
Someone said this to me the other day, and I'm gonna say that it was completely incidental, but there's a new country song that Luke Combs sings on. And someone's like, get a load of this, like wait till you get to the
Really,
solo section, and it's that riff.
really.
And I'm like, there's no way they ripped this off like that, like they had to have just fallen in this. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of the artist, but I'm pretty sure that
I'll look it up.
yeah, Luke Combs
It's a
was like
new Luke Combs feature.
yeah.
Okay. The song is Backup Plan with Luke Combs by Bailey Zimmerman. The resemblance is uncanny. Time to lawyer up. Yeah, because I mean, also your line kind of sounds like classic. It sounds like something from like, 20, 30 years before its time as well. So like it sounds like something that like just exists inside the guitar. Somebody else was bound to dig it up at some point, I'm sure.
I think the logic of the phrasing, it just da 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 da. You just expect the rest of it to go down too. And
Yeah.
yeah, Owen actually came up with that line, sang it to
Did
me.
he? Okay.
Yeah, we were at a
Wow.
show and he's like, "Man, I got this idea." He's like, "Take this." And he's like, "Can you?" Because we were really into that Black Crowes record, Lions.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Could you kind of like give this line that I have in my head, give it the Black Crowes Lions treatment?" And I remember us working on that. Gosh, we worked on that like at a New Year's Eve gig. Um, yeah, and that kind of kick started like the whole vibe for that record, which you probably noticed that True Soul Rock and Roll kind of sounds wildly different than Big Surprise. It was more,
Right.
it's just like
No horns.
more, yeah, more jangly power pop with the
Yeah.
Big Surprise. And then True Soul was just kind of like a rock and roll album. And I think we'd gone out that year and played like 220 shows on the road, and you just kind of fall into your sound. You figure out who you are, and
Yeah.
like, oh, this is actually what we do. And then I remember whenever he wrote Speaking in Tongues, like they're like, okay, this whole thing makes sense. Like, let's just hammer it out. I was gonna tell you something. Okay. Are you a Glen Phillips fan by any chance?
You wanted to talk
I
about
am.
Glen Phillips. Toad the
Yeah.
Wet Sprocket, right?
Yeah, but
I'm a
this
Glen
was
Phillips fan. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, and I've been a massive Toad the Wet Sprocket fan forever.
Yeah.
So I was a big, bummed whenever the band broke up, and he came to Indianapolis to play a solo show. And I remember I was so excited because we actually had a day off from the road. And I'm like, I'm going up to Birdie's tonight in Indianapolis to watch him play. And like a couple hours before I'm supposed to leave to go, Owen and Chris's dad was like, "Hey, we need you to meet us tonight because we're meeting with a brand new sound guy that we might hire. And we all need to get together. You need to meet him and decide if you like him or not, because he's going to be your new sound guy and road manager." I'm like, I can't. Like, I got Glenn Phillips tickets. Like, I'm not missing this. This is like my favorite vocalist. I have to. He was like, "No, this is really important. You need to be here and meet who's potentially going to be our new front of house guy."
How could it be any more important?
Dude, I was so pissed. I was so pissed to miss that. But like he comes back 6 months later, and I'm like, nothing is stopping me because I had another day off. I'm like, nothing is stopping me from going this time. So I head up there, and I took a copy of The Big Surprise with me and watched the whole show. He was so great. And then afterwards, go up to him his merch table and just like, "Dude, I'm in a power pop band. I've been a fan of Toad for a long time and a fan of yours. Like, I would be honored if you just take a listen to this." It's like, it's just kind of, it's, whatever. We're a power pop band. He's like, "Actually, you know what? Me and my road manager, we got to drive to Chicago tonight. I promise you, I'm not going to like give this street date
Amazing.
on Roadside Records. I'll actually listen to it, So yeah, I leave and I'm like, he ain't gonna listen to that, but whatever. I gave it to him and I got to say, hey. Shot him an email the next day, just like, "Hey, I met you. I gave you my band's record, but I just want to say thanks for the show. So good to finally see you do your thing." He wrote back and said, "Hey, I actually did listen to your record, and this is like really high IQ power pop, man. Like, he's like, you never know what you're gonna get." He's like, "But I really enjoyed that." So file that away. About a year later, we're out on tour with Jars of Clay.
Yep.
And we're playing the House of Blues out in Anaheim. And I think that like their dressing room is like right off the stage. Ours is upstairs, 3 floors. And this guy pops in. He was just kind of dressed normal. And he's like, "Oh, hey, do you guys know where Jars are?" Like, "Oh, yeah, I think that they're downstairs." And we thought he was like youth pastor or like a journalist or something. And so you're like wanting to be careful, like,
Right. Sure.
well, we're the opening act, right? We don't want to get in trouble, but yeah, I think that they're downstairs. He's like, "Okay, cool. Well, thanks a lot, guys." And then he pops back in 5 seconds later and says, "Oh, by the way, I love your guys' record." And again, we're thinking this is a youth pastor or something. Like, "Oh,
Right.
cool, man. Thank you very
I love
much."
that song. Hey, hey. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So we go downstairs, like whenever it's time for us to do our set, and he's talking to Charlie. Jars's keyboard player.
Uh,
And Charlie stops me and he goes, Tom, hey, stop here. I really want you to meet one of my good friends. This is Sean from Nickel Creek. I'm
Oh,
like, oh my gosh,
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh, dude. And so I asked him, I go, hey, like you told us, you popped your head back in and said that you liked our record. Like, how in the world did you get our record? He's like, oh, a good friend of mine back home, Glen Phillips, played it for me and said, you got to check this out. You would love
wow.
this band,
He liked it, and he was playing it for his friends. Yeah.
So he
Yeah. And
really
so
liked
like
Well,
we
I
were
mean,
putting
he was in a couple bands with them. So yeah.
we gave him a copy of True Soul. We're like, this is not out yet, but if Nickel Creek would ever want to take a pass at speaking in tongues, we just feel like you guys would absolutely shred this, And I don't think that ever happened, but man, that would have been cool.
Yeah, I still
Right.
want to hear
Oh,
that.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
That's
a,
fantastic.
That's my Glenn Phillips story though. Like, hey,
I love
I
it.
actually got to connect with that guy.
And that-
Yeah,
And
for sure.
and that's perfect because I mean, like, Glenn went on to do, Mutual Admiration Society and WPA with Sean, and
yeah,
so it's cool to see that connection flourish through that. So he's talking about it, and that must feel great. Like,
or at least he did once, at least
or
once. So,
nope.
yeah,
If he did it once to Sean Watkins, he's talking to everybody about
yeah,
it.
Do you have a favorite Glenn song?
uh,
Hard to say, right? Hard to ask, but
yeah. Oh God. I mean, I'm the Toad stuff, like, because
yeah.
immediately I've got so many good like old memories tied in with Toad's music. My favorite record of theirs, like surprisingly, was Coil, I guess. I don't feel
Okay.
like that's most people's favorite album of theirs, but it is mine.
Mm.
You know,
We come back to it later if something pops to
yeah,
mind.
sure, sure.
Yeah, yeah. Well, here's a question. Are you more of a Walk on the Ocean guy or an All I Want guy?
All I want.
There you go.
There we go.
Hey,
There
I'm
we go.
sorry. I hope that isn't disappointing to Brock, but
No, that's
like,
fine. That's fine. Both
but
are good. They're the single that I have, the 7-inch single, has both of those songs, one on one side, one on the
Nice.
other. And so, yeah, I like them both. But
yeah.
it's nice to it's nice to plumb the depths of the singles at least to find out which one. If I give you this disc and say put it on one side only, which one? That one.
Well, I mean, something's always wrong, like
Mm.
that. There's just so much feeling in that. Um, no, let's not go down that rabbit hole. But
That's its own podcast.
yeah,
So I know the thing with Toad is that that was one of the reasons that Jars of Clay got together because like they were like hanging out on campus and one guy sees the other guy with the Toad shirt and says, "Hey, I like your shirt. I like that band. It's great." Is there a similar influence for the Elms? Is there like something that brought you together musically?
um, hmm,
You like what you like, and you said like
man,
Led Zeppelin and and Tom Petty and
that's the thing. I feel like we've all been in everything, But I
yeah.
mean, I could say that like back in the day, we were spinning the Tom Petty Wildflowers record a lot. Every Oasis record we were spinning in the van.
Mhm.
Super Drag, Head Trip in Every Key was one that got played a lot. Um, I don't know. Even now, like even though I'm not in a band with Owen, like we still talk. Hey, what do you listen to? What have you
Right.
come across that's cool? And um, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I we've always been into everything. Like we're all buying records, and like you show up to leave on the trip, and everyone's got like 3 or 4 brand new albums in hand.
That's
It's
phenomenal.
like okay, cool. Like let's get to it. Who's up first?
I,
Yeah,
that's
I
what
would
I
imagine.
used to love so much about road trips and that kind of thing. I mean, like, I didn't tour, I wasn't a touring musician, but like a road trip, and you're going with your buddies. It's like, what are they listening to? What are you listening to? And let's listen to our music together and find something new.
Oh yeah, analyzing everything from like, the playing to the mixing to the this
Hmm.
one's mastered in a really interesting way and this one's got a totally different sonic thing and we used to just love to nerd out over all that stuff and I miss that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I would imagine you learn a lot just from observation too, right? Like as you're listening to new records, you're thinking, well, how would I do this? What effects change would I use? How do they get that tone? I would imagine there's a lot of like things that kind of rub off as you're doing all this listening, saying, well, this is something I'd like to put in the toolkit.
Yeah, I think one record that, the Black Keys Thick Freakness was one record that, probably
So
had
good.
a big effect on, say, the Chess Hotel,
Yeah.
before we went and did that.
That's a
Oh,
great record. Yeah.
yeah. It's interesting because we did I'm sorry not to jump ahead of you, Brock, because I don't know if you're going to
You
ask
do it.
about it
You do
eventually,
it.
but we just put out the single "What a Time to Be Alive,"
Mhm.
Yeah.
and in some ways, I feel like we tried things on that we never would have done back in the day. It's like we all kind of go our separate ways and then come back. And I remember going, "Hey, I got this like lead line here that I never really used delay and reverbs in the past, but I'm hearing this line. I think we really need it, and just something we never would have done." And it would be interesting to me now. I don't know that we're ever going to make another record, you know what I mean? But if we were to ever do that, I would be curious to see like how much we've all changed and what we would all bring to the equation now,
Yeah.
Because I think we're
Yeah.
also like just like a lot more open-minded now than, back then it's like you're in a band, what you think is cool, like all fits within like a little box, and it's like this is all cool and we were into so much stuff, but there are definitely, it's like, this is not in the box. This is not allowed in. And now I think that we're like all over the map. And I think it'd be really fun to see like, yeah, just how whatever is influencing us now would come together.
Yeah. Well, I was listening to that and I was messaging you about it. Or like, I will apologize now, Tom, if I've ever messaged you too much, but
Oh,
I
no,
think
no, no. I always love
you've
hearing from you.
been you've been open to it and receptive to it ever since like 2020. I think when everybody went home,
I'm
I
the
was
one that's
spending a
supposed
lot
to
of time
apologize,
digging into
Brock.
this. And so, okay, please apologize for the frequency of my messages to Tom.
Apparently, it's
Uh,
okay, so I won't.
No, but no, I think I was just checking in. I don't think you folks ever did gang vocals. Even on Chess Hotel, there wasn't a whole lot. There might have been doubled vocals, but I don't remember anything that was like gang vocals like the new single is.
Man, I've never thought about it, but I think you're right. I can't think of anything that we did that on either.
Because it totally works. It totally fits, and it's a great. Have you guys heard this? This
Oh yeah,
song kicks ass.
oh
It's
yeah,
so great.
yeah. I was listening to it earlier, just to,
Yeah,
I was kind of re-listening down the catalog, and when we found out we were having you on, I'm like, wait, what is this? And so I
yeah.
found the new single, so I'm
Best
digging
thing
it.
you've ever heard. Yeah,
Man, I mean, I digged it. I digged it.
yeah.
I digged it.
You
Woo!
digged it. I digged it too.
I
That's
digged it.
that's at a very Hoosier, man. I feel at
Thank you.
home.
I'm glad to make you feel there. There we go. I digged it.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's a great track. And I'm curious. It makes me want to ask a little bit about playing with Chris because he is such an interesting drummer.
Oh yeah.
Just in terms of like I'm not sure if I could point to an element that makes that's like a distinctive, but I feel like he has a really unique voice in terms of drumming.
I just think it's like all power all the
Hmm.
time, I mean, that kid hits so hard. He just hits
Yeah.
so hard. I feel like there's a classy side to Chris's playing from listening to drummers like Steve Ferroni of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. He was also
Hmm.
really into Alan White, who's Oasis's drummer back in the day. Um, but I don't know. He just like Chris is also like a very aggressive personality, and he brings that to his drums and just beats the snot out of them. And I think like I hadn't played with this. That was the first song we had recorded together in 17 years. That was
Whoa.
It's a long
nuts.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hadn't played with this guy since we did the 2015 show. And Owen literally was just like, "Hey man, it's like we got this reunion show. Like, might it make sense to like do a new song?" I wrote 160 brand new songs during COVID, and I got one that I wrote like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, "Oh, this might work out." Like, what do you think? Um, so from the moment that like we started, I mean, because we had never played the song together until we got into the studio that day, and we tracked it all within a matter of hours. It came together very
Wow.
Just
quickly.
fell out.
Yeah, and the moment we started playing and Chris starts hitting his drums, I'm like, oh yeah, like I'd forgotten what this feels like, like, but
Yeah.
we're still us, we still sound like us, we still feel like us. Um, I think that maybe as the guitar player in the band, because Chris and Nathan, our bass player, are just as aggressive as they are, I always felt supported. Like I could do whatever I wanted over the top of that because the foundation is solid. If
Yeah.
that makes
They're a
sense.
powerful rhythm section. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like it kind of allows you to like really dig into the guitar and do whatever you want because you know that like your your drummer and your bass player are pushing, the whole time. Um, and for that one, Owen was kind of like, "Hey, this new song, like I want to it's us, but it's like us doing the Clash, maybe."
Yeah.
So if you guys want to get a little punkish about it, like
Come
that
on.
wouldn't be
Yeah.
the worst thing. So it's like, okay, okay. Then because that's something we'd never really tried before either, like explore anything punkish about what we're doing. So, you know, I mean, Chris is having a blast and he's just wailing away on his floor tom, you know, and then it's just the whole
Yeah.
room is filling up with like the sound of these big, massive drums. And it's like, all right, it's on, you know.
Yeah,
That's
no, I am so
Did that
excited.
answer, did that answer your okay, go
Absolutely.
ahead.
I
Okay.
was so
Absolutely.
excited about all of that coming out, and like the way it was previewed too, like little drops of like the video stuff, the black and white video clips, and I'm like, what's it gonna be? And it turned out to be, again, the best song of the year, easily in my mind, maybe
Oh
best song of
man.
the decade. We'll
Wow.
see.
Well, thank
But in
you.
terms of having something cool from the Elms again, it was, I thought it was a great, like you say, it's a refresh. It's getting you guys back in the room again, but it's also like it's an update. It's like what would the Elms do today? Let's find out. I love it. I'm a big fan.
Right on, man. Thank you.
I was stoked
Yeah.
to see more music. So hint hint nudge nudge, keep that coming.
I mean, I mean, I would love that, guys. I would absolutely love that.
Sure.
I'm not here to like break
Oh.
news or anything like that.
No.
Because right now there's nothing planned,
Sure.
at all. That song was a lot of fun. Owen came here to sing the vocal for that, it was like 2 months ago now. And when he left, he texted me the next day and he was like, I gotta admit, man, I had a lot of fun coming to sing the vocal at your place last night. And I was like, well, I know how you could have a lot more fun in the near future if you'd like to. And like, and he was just like, I mean, I got 160 new songs. He's like, let's get through these shows and we'll see what the world looks like.
Sure,
I
of course.
don't, but everybody's lives are so different now.
Of course, yeah.
I'll say this though, that if those guys are like, hey, the shows are done, why not? That last song was a lot of fun to put together and seemed to happen very easily. Like, let's try more. I would totally be down.
You tell them there are Elms fans everywhere on every
Yeah.
coast that are looking forward to more. So if that happens, we'll be very happy. Zero pressure, but we'll be very happy.
Oh, dude, yeah, you don't have to convince me.
Well, we have a regular listener of our podcast, Nathan Doolittle, who wrote in.
Nathan, yeah.
Yeah, who actually brought us all together, sort of, besides your connection to Brock. And he really asked me to ask you, but I also was curious about more music. So that
Right.
it's cool.
Yeah. No, and I think we may have already been talking about getting you on the pod, but Nathan was definitely like, "Oh, you guys think about talking to the Elms? You should talk to the Elms." So,
And like, all right, let's do it. Yeah.
we're grateful for that.
I remember him tagging us in a comment about
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, the thing is, we were talking earlier about CDs, and like that physical product existing, like allowed for there to be budgets, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
And that disappearing, like I don't know if you guys if you guys John Mark McMillan fans at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, did you see
I know
like
about
his
it.
latest?
Yeah.
I thought it was really sad. And
Yeah,
in another
I
sense,
saw.
I'm kind of excited because he said he's going to like write some books. I'm like, man, if you write a book on songwriting, dude, and I will pre-order that. I'm totally in for that. But it's like I was also kind of like a little bit sad reading that, going, yeah, it's tougher for artists now. Because there's not that like guaranteed revenue stream of selling a physical product or getting a budget
course.
from a label or whatever, that's what they were dependent on, right? To be able to give those advances and whatnot. But so many things have changed in like our lives. Like the band's done. I took a road gig, but like what I really started focusing on was like recording and producing bands here at home, right?
Yeah.
Several people were speaking in my life going, hey, I think you should consider producing. I think you have an ear for this. This is something you should look into. Owen got really into video and graphic design and digital media. So he goes off that track. He's doing some producing now too. And, so that was like one reason it was easy for us to release the song is because, Owen, I remember Owen Collins saying, do you want to do the song? And I'm asking you first because like I'm probably going to be leaning on you pretty heavily for the production.
Sure.
I'm like, oh yeah, dude.
Because you could
this is
do it.
something-
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is something I never thought would happen. I'd love to. And I think that like even at the end of our tenure as a band, I was thinking, man, I need to get into like recording. I need to learn how to run Pro Tools. I need to learn how to get great sounds and mix records, because for us to be able to work the way that we want to work in the future, like it's just going to require us knowing how to do things like this. And then, the band called it quits, and I stayed on that track, but it was a little bit sad because really the only thing that I got to do for the band was like we did like this acoustic version of the Great American Mid-Range. It was just kind of a fun little different perspective on the songs, right?
Oh, that's cool.
Owen goes into video editing and whatnot, and so now it's like all of these things that we've spent like the last 15 years of our lives doing, like we could use in service of the band, you know? So like we wouldn't need to have like a record label funding it because we could do everything ourselves,
Mhm.
you know,
Right.
even from the graphic design and the marketing, no one could handle all that stuff. So man, I would love it if it happened. It's like if those guys are like, okay, hey, we're all busy, we've got families, we've got jobs, but you know, let's carve out some time, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'd be so happy to do that.
It doesn't have to be
Absolutely.
today. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. But it'd be cool.
But it does have to be next year.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, all right.
At least by the 30th anniversary. You know?
Yeah.
Speaking of production, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your solo record, and you've done a couple solo singles too, right? But oh man, I'm blanking on the title. What was the not Owensville?
I'm
Not Evansville.
blanking too, like Westfield.
Westfield. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Westfield record is great, and I think that's around the time that I think I had started reaching out to you online. It was when you had just released that, or you were about to, because the closing track of that record, the Porch Light. I forget if I told you this or not, but the Porch Light song was important to me because we were in the middle of a 7-day power outage. I think I'd probably just gotten the record like maybe the week before or something, and then here in Salem, Oregon, just ice storm that nobody expected right after the biggest heat wave we'd ever had the previous year, and all the trees are falling down, all the power's out, and we didn't have power for 7 days, and so. I think the last day, the porch light came on because I'd never turned off the switch, and so I was like out taking care of, getting rid of logs that have fallen down or whatever, watching the sun go down. Is it going to be cold again tonight? And then the porch light comes on. And I'm like, oh, hey, that's that Tom song. So it's got a piece in my memory, and it did definitely entrench itself because of that. But also the rest of the record is really, really great, and I really enjoyed kind of what you were saying through the music, what you were saying about what you were seeing in the world at the time. It was a weird time. I guess it's a weird time now too, but it was a weird time back then. And what you brought your observations, on race and class and class and money and kind of how those things all kind of show themselves in the world and what people do with them. I was really moved by all of that. I keep wanting to get that on vinyl someday. So if we ever see that on vinyl, I'll be super excited. But can you tell us a bit more about your own solo work?
I mean, I just kind of I would go on walks, like I would go on rage walks every day, and anytime I do anything cyclical, if I'm riding a bike, if I'm walking, or even like if I'm showering, if I'm driving, it's just something about that. It's almost like it shuts off the logical side of my brain, and I start hearing melodies, or I start hearing chord progressions, I start hearing hooks. And I was going on walks every day. And then before 5 minutes later, I'd be getting out my phone and like singing da 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 and the voice memos or like,
Yeah.
typing lyrics or something. Or I'd be describing, okay, this one, it's going to be a Telecaster through an AC-30 playing this riff, just trying to put myself in the moment so I could go back and listen to it later and go, oh yeah, this is the song that I was hearing in my head. It's kind of weird. Whenever I write tunes, I kind of hear everything all at once.
That's cool.
So like I don't really feel like I'm writing so much as I am just like documenting.
To
But
an
yeah,
end.
I remember going for walks and with Westfield, I remember walking by like there were a bunch of dudes like just like blasting mariachi music and they were on this roof like they're like building this house and they're like Westfield's like a very very nice town in Indiana. So I'm on this nice greenway that's looking into this like gonna be brand new neighborhood of all these massive houses, and these dudes are just having an absolute blast, listening to their music, laughing, carrying on. And there was just something so striking to me. I'm like, I don't know how many of these guys are like undocumented or not, but it's like crazy to me. Like these are the people that, aren't really seen by a society, but yet they're the reason that we see all of these big houses and all these, and I think there's just something about that in the moment. Like there's a song here. We gotta write about this. Dude, thank you. I didn't know the porch light story. That's new to me, man. You never told me that. But I appreciate what you said about it. And I think that record needs a remix. I think that like I've learned a lot since I mixed that record. And I also think I was just kind of mixed it in a hurry. So let me put a remix on that record to where it sounds the way that I think it should, and then
Yeah.
let's go make some vinyl of it after that. How's
Oh,
that?
come on now.
Sounds like a great idea. I
Yeah.
will say, I think it sounds pretty good right now, but I also, it's not my record and I'm not listening to it with your ears. So I know that, there's always room for improvement. But I will say in the interim, I think everybody should go out and listen to that record because I think it's really good
Thanks,
in a lot
man.
of ways, in a lot, both like, artistically, philosophically, I think there's a lot of good stuff there. So, yeah, thank you for that.
Right on.
But yeah, and then you've done some production for some other folks. Geez, what did I?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
Generally
my
talk nicer
my
about
time out right
clients
there.
than that, bro. I'm not in the business, but I'm guessing they use
I mean,
different
they
language.
are, like you're not wrong. You're not wrong,
Let me take a
Brock,
run at
but
that again. You've done some production for some other
So wait,
folks.
hold on. I'm done.
No, jeez.
Oh, okay, there you go.
All right, we doing this one more time.
Yep,
Yeah.
go for
You've
it.
done some production for some other folks. I'm gonna keep that probably the whole thing in, right? No, but
Yes.
you've been producing other people as well, and so Brett Wiskins was one of the guys that
Oh,
I
yeah,
really
yeah.
enjoyed his solo record. I know that I think he made like 10 records and that was it, but I've got one of them, and it's really good. And didn't he get on a video game soundtrack or something? Wasn't that like a
we got on 2 video games because
Okay.
I remember one of the things that he was taking like a music sync licensing course whenever we're, talking about the record. And he was like, man, if I have a goal for this album, he's like, obviously I want to make a record I can be proud of, but I just have this extra goal to get something picked up by a sync licensing company. Like he's like, it doesn't even have to make it onto anything. I just want them to sign on and say that they'll represent it and try to get it on something. I'm like, okay, well, I'm like, I don't think that the goal is any different than it would otherwise, like we just need to make a good record. I think
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I want to make a good record anyway, but I think making a good record is probably going to up your chances of it getting used. But there's some like particulars too, like you're trying to they want stuff that's like a beat or and we were making a rock record anyway, so that was just going to happen, right?
Mhm.
And then yeah, so we wrote like I think 11 tunes for the record, and in the end I want to say all of them got signed by sync licensing agencies except for like 2 of them.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
So yeah, and then I remember him calling me one day going, holy crap, holy crap, holy crap, you're not going to believe this, but I'm trying to remember which song it was. I think it was Late Bloomer, which is the name of the
Okay.
record.
Yeah.
He's like, Late Bloomer is getting you, it got on NASCAR Heat 5 for PlayStation and Xbox. I'm like, there you go, man, let's go.
Right.
And so and he showed up, like I don't know, a couple months later with a check going, dude, like I
It
just wanted to
works.
get the song represented, and like we actually got paid for this. And then it wasn't that long after that, Tony Stewart, another racer here in Indiana, he put out like his own game called SRX or something. And
Okay.
Brett had a song called Vertical City. It's like the
Oh,
the
yeah,
album
yeah.
opener, and that got used on Tony Stewart's game,
Wow.
So
Wow.
that, and for me as a producer, I mean, other than Elms, because Elms I think had the Shake got on Guitar Hero or something.
Did it really?
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great.
So, but this was like the first time as a producer that I'd gotten anything on a video game, and it's crazy because Brett will still like he'll text me screen captures every once in a while of somebody saying, hey, I'm in the Czech Republic, and I just want to let you know I listen to Late Bloomer all the time. It's my favorite song on the game. Every time it gets to the victory scene, I hear that song, but the song's inspired me to like chase after what I want in life. And I'm like, dude, that's manic, like
That's good feedback.
Mhm.
well, yeah, and it's just it's all because of the game. Like his music like had more reach just because it got on a video game, and
Right. Right.
that blows my mind.
I love that. Who else have you produced?
I mean, a lot of local and regional artists, a lot of people here in Indiana, people in like Ohio, Missouri, Michigan. I'm trying to think of who you guys would, if there's anyone
Because there was one
else.
that got on like the professional bull riding circuit, right? Was that
Oh,
or was that
well,
your song?
okay. Do you guys familiar with that band, The Listening? And also, I mean, before then,
Yeah.
A friend of mine, Gabriel, who's a producer extraordinaire and
Yeah,
great
Gabriel
songwriter.
Wilson. Yeah.
Yeah, Gabriel was
The Listening Rock and Roll Worship Circus.
Rock and Roll
Yeah.
Worship Circus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he produced a lot of those early Bethel records too, and I think he wrote a lot of tunes for Bethel. But he has this there's this country artist named Kurt Van Meter from like Southern Oregon. And he was like, dude, I got this record. It's like a country thing, but it's, it needs some Rolling Stones. It needs some Who. It needs some. And he's like, you're the guy. I need you to play record. And I was like kind of stuck at home because my wife is an ICU nurse. Like she started in the ICU just like a couple weeks before COVID hit.
Oh, wow.
So like our lives were pretty nuts for like 3 years, right?
For sure.
But I'm like, well, hey, I got time to like cut tracks on this record if you want to send it over. And so we did. We cut the album, and then he started getting some interest from Cole Hauser, who plays Rip on Yellowstone.
Yep.
I haven't actually seen an episode of Yellowstone yet. That's stupid. I should know all about that show, but Cole got into Kurt, and like I guess he's a big music fan, really like Kurt's stuff, and he likes to break new artists. So he kind of took it on himself, like I'm gonna like pass this guy around and just see if I can help him get some traction. And so Pro Bull Riders Association got in touch with Cole and said, we want you to write a whole thing and direct this, spot that we're going to show ahead of all the PBR events next year. He's like, well, I'll do it, but I'm using this guy, Kurt, my friend Kurt. He let him do the music. And I'm like, okay. And so we put together a couple of tunes for that. But like Kurt and Gabriel call me and they go, we got one more thing. They want, like, Cole is like, we need the national anthem on guitar. And not like Hendrix, because, that would just be a little too wild and chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, is there something else that you could do with this? Like maybe something slower, a little more emotional, or like, yeah, let me. So I remember I struggled with it all day. My dad was visiting from Missouri. He's outside like smoking ribs, for us. And like dinner's almost ready. I'm like, hang on, I'm going to go upstairs and just knock this out. And so I came up right here and I think I had it done in like less than 10 minutes. And I'm thinking, I remember sitting it on and then just like not hearing anything, going, oh man, I think they hated that or something. Like, I'm getting no reaction. And then Gabriel called and said, dude, we're just sitting here like bawling, like we're crying.
You did it perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah. And he said that, like we sent it to Cole. We wanted to make sure he was down, and he said that he was like moved too. So yeah, like that ended up getting used a lot last year. I didn't get to actually, I've never been to, well, I've played rodeos with like one of my old bands that I, was hard to play with, but I've never actually like gone to a rodeo for fun. I kind of thought, I should probably do this though. Like it might be fun to hear this played overhead. But Kurt went to Dallas and for like the finals, and he took a video and sent it to me. Yeah,
cool. That's cool.
That's fantastic.
All I know of professional bull riding is I used to work for a country music radio station in Ticonderoga, New York, and we'd play the PBR moment. And like it was a tape we'd put in the tape player. This was back in like 99s, and boom, and play it. And that's how I learned about professional bull riding. That's all.
What was it? Like what were you playing?
It was a tape about it was a professional bull riding minute, and they just say what was happening in professional bull riding.
Oh, gotcha. So they're like little spots.
And that's all all it was. And I'm like, okay, this sounds cool, but it's nowhere near me, but that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Pete, did you ever get to spin the Elms anywhere? Because you had a couple of radio gigs.
I did on the All Testosterone Hour. That's right.
Okay.
That was the name of my radio show back at Houghton College. I played. That was Big Surprise era. So we definitely played Hey Hey on there a couple times.
Was Houghton College up in upstate New York?
Yeah, out in Western New York, out in near Buffalo.
That's where Owen and Chris were from originally.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they grew up in trying to remember the name, the actual name. It's Buffalo, but I can't remember the because their dad was a worship minister at a church there. So yeah, I mean ask
all those suburbs.
Ask Owen where he's from, he'll say Buffalo. He's not going to say Indiana.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think you guys I may be wrong here. I'm so, but because I have seen you live before, but I think you played Kingdom Bound back in the day.
Yeah.
Because I know I do remember being out in Western New York and and seeing you guys play. But yeah, that was where I went to school for 4 years, and radio station was only for 2 of those years, so we didn't get to go on to further stuff. But so it was we kind of ended about 2002. But I do remember playing Hey Hey
During the all
on
testosterone hour.
during the all
Okay.
testosterone hour. That's right. Shout out to B Papa B Brett Sherwood. It was for Mom, Dad, and Weird Uncle Pete, not me, another uncle. Right.
Perfect. Tom, we're probably up against the time. I told I'd let you go, so I want to make sure that we give you space and time for the rest of your life. But just mentioning like the great American mid-range, you like that record? Is there what are some highlights off that record that you'd like to point
Oh
people to?
gosh, my favorite tune on the record is called "Long Gone." There's another tune on like kind of near the back half of the record called "Thunderhead." In Thunderhead, there was this moment where like sometimes you have these happy accidents in the studio. Like if you're a guitar player, it usually revolves around feedback. And I'm holding this note in the second verse, and it just kind of like rang out at like the perfect resonance, and I could like see in the control room. I'm thinking this, and they're all thinking it too in the control room, like, hold that, don't screw that up, do not let
Don't
that
let it
go.
go.
And it's like I walked it up, and I did a little move, and then finally like, held it all the way to the end, slid off, and like the whole place was like man, I don't know. I just that entire record was just so much fun to make because we got to like take over a studio for 3 weeks. Like, before it's like we were always like, let's go book some time, cut these four drum tracks, while we have a couple days off from the road. We'll come back and we'll cut another four drum tracks. But like for that record, we got to just set up all of our gear
Get to
for
live in
like
it,
three
yeah.
weeks and really just like go to the studio every day and experiment and just see what happens. And we had something crazy like 30 songs written for that record. We knew we weren't going to get, I think we got through like 17 of them or something. But that was just so much fun because we finally got to work under those parameters. And just really like, okay, well, we got all of these tunes here. Let's go for it, and let's just see like what rises to the top, when it's all said and done. And that was my favorite record, like maybe for that reason, but also just I like the way it landed sonically. We got to I'm a big fan of this mix engineer in Seattle from Seattle named Adam Casper, and he worked on like
Okay.
Pearl Jam records, Foo Fighters records, but like my first like I mean, I'd listen to all these albums that he had done, like Soundgarden records, but the first time I really took note of him was he produced and mixed Queens of the Stone Age, Songs for the Deaf.
Oh yeah.
And that was one of those records that like Owen bought, when we're leaving, on a getting in the van and leaving on a trip. He's like, "Hey, I got this new like Quatsa record. Let's check this out." And we were just so blown away by how it sounded. Dave Grohl played drums on that record, it kind of automatically gave it a special
Yeah.
thing. But it's
Sure,
like
yep.
these sounds are so sick. Who mixed this? It's like Adam Casper. And so we're like just a couple days away from finishing the tracking for the Great American Mid-Range. And I'm sitting on the couch in the lobby. Owen walks in. He had like walked outside and disappeared forever. Walks back in. He's like, "Dude, you're never gonna guess who I was just on the phone with." Like, who? He's like, "Adam and Casper." I'm like, yeah, he's like, he's gonna mix our record. I'm gonna fly out and we're gonna. It used to be called the studio used to be called Bad Animals, but I think they
Okay.
renamed it to like Studio X or something crazy like that. But a lot of my favorite bands made records in that studio, and so
Right.
Owen got to fly out there and like hang out with Adam, and the rest of us had to stay home for it. But they were emailing us mixes every single day. And sorry, the point is Adam Casper mixed our record,
Yeah.
and I think I said earlier that was the album that I think we finally sounded the way that I thought. The way that I always thought we sounded in my head.
Sure.
That finally materialized, and I feel like
Yeah.
like Adam completely got who we were. And you think about it though, like probably a lot of my sonic preferences were informed by Adam Casper records, so it just makes sense that like, oh, you know you like the way guitars sound like this or drums sound like this because you're used to hearing Adam do those things to drums and guitars, right? And we finally got to have a little taste of that on a record. So that's why the mid range is probably my favorite record. But
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just looking at the credits here. It looks like you folks produced it yourself. It was kind of basically
all
self-produced,
hands,
mixed by
yeah,
Casper,
all hands
yeah,
on.
and mastered by Bob Ludwig. So,
Oh, I forgot about that. That was a lot of fun though, because
yeah,
Casper said to Owen, he's like, "Hey, who are you thinking about, having mastered this?" And we were really into Stephen Markison at the time. He did like the Jet Get Born record. I think he did like that really
Yeah,
great
yep.
Wolf Mother record that came out.
Mm-hmm.
So we really liked him because he was aggressive, like just he wasn't afraid to put his foot through anything, and so I think Owen was
Yeah.
like, well, I was kind of thinking maybe Stephen Markison, like, but do you have somebody in mind? And Adam's like, well, I mean, usually Bob Ludwig, masters all my stuff, and Bob Ludwig's the goat, so we're just like, is that even an option available to us? He's like, yeah, it's an option available to. Let me send this over to Bob. He'll love this. He'll love this. And so, man, I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it, and you can put it in because,
All right.
they did a shootout. Stephen Markison and Bob Ludwig did a shootout on spec.
Is that right?
Dude, I think both of them mastered Strut, and both of them were amazing. Like both,
Okay.
like they
Yeah.
were so different. They were so radically different from each other, but both
Right.
just
What
great.
what did you notice about them? Like, what were the differences?
I would say that Stephen Markison's like I wish I feel like I have more of a language to talk about it now than I did back then. But I'd say Stephen Markison
Sure.
has this thing where he kind of blurs the sounds a little bit. Um,
Uh-huh.
Bob Ludwig's masters are a little more like finessed, or it still rocks, but it's like
Yeah.
there's just a little more.
But it's kind of like clean, like they're more distinct. All the things, like all the separation is kind of
Yeah,
there, as opposed to something that kind of washes it
yeah,
together.
and I think we didn't know which was which. Like they I think our like our friend Brent Milligan that worked with us on Big Surprise and True Soul, he was there with us for the mid range sessions. So I think he got the masters and labeled them like A and B, nondescript, and said, "He's like, all right, guys, listen to both of
Right.
them. Tell me what you think."
Blind test.
Yeah, and we all picked the one that ended up being Bob's, but it was tough because they were both awesome, in their own way.
Right.
But just simply
Well, and it sounds like Strut might also like benefit from that other style of kind of like it's a kick-ass song. It's a great song. But yeah, it seems like overall you ended up with the Ludwig Master, and that was the one that kind of that was the direction you went.
and just cool to be able to say that, hey, Bob, we got to
Absolutely.
work with Bob Love. This last tune, I've got a guy that I've worked with forever that I love, and I'll always be using him. Like he's a mastering engineer out of Nashville. I think he just moved to Atlanta again though. Dan Scheich, and he's mastered lots of great stuff. So Owen was like, hey man, what are you thinking when it comes to mastering for What a Time to Be Alive? What are you thinking? And similarly, I was just like, well, I mean, I'm always going to want to use Dan Scheich. And he's like, Dan Scheich's baller for sure. He's like, I had a thought. Kind of the one mastering engineer that we never got a chance to work with back in the day was Ted Jensen. And given that this might be the last thing that we ever record together, who knows? Like, would it be worth at least like running that up the flagpole, seeing if it happened? I'm like, oh, well, sure, like because Ted Jensen's also the goat, like Hotel California, even up to like I think he did the new Morgan Wallen. I mean, the dude's still crushing it, But I'm like, man, I mean, I'd be honored to say that like I worked on something that Ted Jensen mastered. So I think Owen sent it over to him, and he's like, yeah, I love this, I'll do it. And his master was great. It's totally different than what Ludwig would have done or what Markison would have done. Like, I mean, at that level though, those guys are all good. Like, it's not gonna suck. It's just just like, do you like what they did to this particular thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and I'm curious, is that going to, so I know it's available streaming, Spotify, but I was looking up earlier, I saw some of your stuff's up on Bandcamp. Is that one that would be like on Bandcamp, or is that something that like
that I didn't,
or is it contractually under other stuff?
I didn't know that we had a Bandcamp, so I don't think that that's our Bandcamp.
Well, so just so you know, I saw a Bandcamp, and just so you're aware of it, there's a Bandcamp with your with some demos and stuff. Just so you know.
Okay, I did not put those up there. I would highly doubt
Okay.
anybody in there.
That's why that's why I go right to
But
the
I'm
source.
gonna be honest with you, I don't care. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'm
Yeah,
also
yeah.
not gonna like chase it down. I like whatever. Demos. They have demos.
So it's so just
Yeah.
because I like to they have
I bought them, so who got my money? Yeah.
yeah so there's Truth Soul rock and roll demos, Chess Hotel demos, and then a bunch of like
Is it live performances?
rock live performances. It's called it's the Elms, Seymour, Indiana, and it says audio home movies of the Elms 2001 to 2003.
Huh.
You heard it here first on a Pickle Home Companion. I mean, yeah. So there you go.
Here come the lawyers.
No,
yeah.
I do not. I don't care. I don't think anybody. I think anybody else in our band would be like, whatever. But I'm like, how did they get these?
Well,
right, where'd they come from? That's the question. Yeah.
Like, I mean, and
So
who knows? Because there are any number of people, like whenever you're making demos for a record, you're in like the pre-production phase. Like any number of people like could have had those, and that's funny though, man. I need you guys to send me a link. I need to go.
Yeah, we will.
And I'll probably hear something like, I totally forgot about this song. But
Okay.
that's hilarious. But I also don't care. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, just
there we go.
The elms.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah. But we'll Brock send it over for sure.
It's great.
Right,
I'll
sounds
just
good.
go and enjoy it and listen to it, Like
For sure. I didn't get a chance to listen to
Okay.
it. I just was kind of looking through. But that's why I was curious where. So that question started with like, is it going to be available like the new track? I know it's on Spotify. Is it available to download like anywhere? Because I know downloading is I'm still old school.
Yeah.
So I still like to support and download.
Man, I don't know that. Owen would probably be
Okay.
the guy, But
Sure. That's
and
fine.
then if there is a download available, I'm gonna have to burn that off for my daughter too and put that on a blank
That's
CD,
right.
right?
Boom.
Right, put it on a CD. Yep.
Well, now you got a bunch
that
of demos
begs
you
the
can check
question
out.
of,
Yeah, or maybe
is there going to be a 7-inch? Can we get some sweet, beautiful vinyl as well?
See, here's a weird thing, man. And you're the vinyl king, okay? I have a record player out in the garage. I need to dust it off. I probably need to do I need to get a new needle like for it?
Maybe.
Yeah, but I've never actually heard anything I've ever recorded from vinyl. So
The box set is nice.
And
I enjoyed
and
that.
Owen gave me one, and I've got it stored away. I'm more like it's probably still in the shrink wrap, to be honest with you. Like I didn't even take it out of it. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
But at some point, like I think that it would be a cool experience for me to like hear a strut off of a player,
Totally. Yeah.
So I don't know. Hey, the 7-inch thing, I would think that would be really cool. So I might bring that up, just like, guys,
All right.
how hard would it be to
Well.
make this happen? So if that does happen, I'll buy some extras and I'll send them out to all you guys.
I'm already in line to buy my own.
Yeah.
I'll send them to you.
All right. Whatever works.
Tom, thanks for taking
Guys,
some time.
thanks
to
so
chat. I
much
really
hanging out.
appreciate
Yeah.
it.
And, dude,
Yeah.
I'll look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks, man. I
Absolutely.
If you got time, I'll have to here in Indiana, they have these pork tenderloin sandwiches that are like,
Oh yeah.
they're
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the bun is this big and the actual tenderloin is this big. So I'll have to take you out for one of those.
I'll save
or-
my appetite. Let's find. I was going to offer to buy you lunch if you have time while we're out there. I figure with this event, you got to have a bunch of people in town. So I don't assume to have any of your time. But
I do have a bunch of family coming in, but actually, I've already told them about you and said this dude's coming all the way from the Pacific
geez.
Northwest. I'm hanging out with him, and I'm going to go buy. I'm buying you lunch, so it's
okay. I won't
who's
say
your
no.
hospitality.
I
man?
would look forward to it. Absolutely. No, let's do it.
Seriously, Jared or Pete, if I ever run into you guys, I'm buying you lunch. So
I appreciate it in advance.
yeah.
Well, thank you so
Right on.
much. No, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
And please come back.
All right,
anytime.
man. Here's the deal. So I, made Westfield like he was talking about years ago, but I never got a chance to make a grunge record. That's what I listened to in high school. I
yeah.
graduated
Oh,
in
yeah.
'96.
Yeah.
Never got to make an alt grunge record because by the time I graduated, it was over and done. We'd moved on to post grunge and post rock by then. So I'm kind of like, why not? I have all of this gear. I should write a bunch of tunes, make a grunge record. So let me finish that, and I'll come back and hang out with you guys and talk about that.
That would be
Do it.
awesome.
Do it.
Look
That'd be
forward
fun.
to it.
Yep.
Look forward to it.
Do it. Put it up on
I'll put it up on
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.
Let Pete download it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And burn it
and then
to a
I'll be able to
CD.
support
Yeah.
it. Actually,
That's
on vinyl,
right.
yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
I love
awesome.
Tom,
Oh,
thanks so
you
much.
guys.
Really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
Talk to you soon.
Great chatting with you.
appreciate
Talk to
you.
you later.
Thank you.
Well, that was fun. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that was.
Oh man.
Yeah, Jared. Sorry, I didn't give you many chances to ask many questions.
No, that was good.
That,
Like,
yeah. You didn't have any that you were sitting
I
on.
have an Elms CD. Still have it downstairs.
Which one do you have?
So I have. Let me double check. It's the True Soul
it
and Rock
orange?
and Roll, I think.
Yeah. Oh, the second one. Yeah.
Is it the one that has like
I
a
have
green
this.
and a blue and there's like an overlapping circle or something? I don't have the cases anymore.
Think so?
So I just have this.
Oh,
the
sure,
discs. But I.
Yeah. The cover art is like the four of them looking real rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Truth Soul Rock and Roll is such a like it really was like as much as the first disc broke big with the single. I think their second record was way better in a lot of ways. And it's a lot of it comes down to preference, right? You can't really. It's not a. I'm not citing any qualitative differences that I think are better or worse. It's just like that one. I liked it better. So but that's not the one that they gave to Glen Phillips. So
No. I'm pretty sure that's the one I am looking at. I'm looking at it on Discogs.
I was geeking out a little bit over this Glen Phillips, Sean Watkins connection. I wanted to dive
what a great story. Yeah.
I wanted to dive a little further into that because I'm a big Sean Watkins, Nickel Creek, and I don't know if I didn't want to name drop this, but Sean Watkins was also in a band called Fiction Family.
Fiction Family, right?
With John Foreman of Switchfoot.
That's right. Who was the third person in that group? Wasn't there three people?
There were four.
Okay.
And it was Aaron Redfield on drums, and I'm gonna time out this because I hate the fact that I can't remember. Well,
I mean, the silence. That's fine.
Yeah, the sound of silence.
Time back in.
So actually, they were.
That was when the raccoon left the band. Who joined them next?
They were a duo because the raccoon made them a trio.
Sure.
No, but they started off as a duo, and then they added in. So when they were touring, they had Aaron Redfield on drums. So Aaron also does a lot of the solo stuff with John when he goes on a tour. And then the fourth guy. So the first album was a duo with studio musicians, and the second album, Reunion, they made it a four-piece. And they had Tyler Chester on there and also Aaron Redfield. So, and great. So good. So,
It was a good project. I only ever had one song from Fiction Family. But
When
it was
She's
good.
Near? Was it When She's Near?
I think so. Is that like the single or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. But the whole thing was great. And then also Ben and Jerry's did put out like this little download live album of Fiction Family. And I was very stoked about that collaboration, being so close to Vermont. But yeah, it was just cool.
You ever think about the mixtapes that you lost, like the burned CDs? Because I had a burned CD with Fiction Family on it, and a bunch of other stuff I was listening to at the time, and I really wish I could remember everything that was on that disc, but it's just gone to the winds.
Yeah, like Frank Sinatra, like Elvis and his mom.
Yep.
Like Al Pacino's Cash, nothing lasts in this way.
Switchfoot. I have.
Yeah, Bono, I'm glad you asked.
I need to plug it in and look through it, but we have an old hard drive down here in the desk that I think I have basically
There's some Mob Boss demos.
Probably. I have basically every song I downloaded. It's
all these viruses. It's like opening like a sarcophagus where like suddenly the spirits are going to escape and like take over the world.
because I have still a bunch of burned CDs, where I would download all the tracks, get the whole CD and put it together. But it's somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 songs, I think, are on this hard drive.
That's a lot, yeah.
Oh man, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Guys, I should probably log off here unless we want. Did we have anything like voicemails or anything we wanted to do?
There
Save
is
those for
a
Kevin?
voicemail. I don't know if it's related
Okay.
to today or not, but there is one. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. especially if it asks for Kevin's input. We can pretend we never heard it.
Yep.
Yeah, let me go back here.
Schrodinger's voicemail.
Let me share sound. All right, I think we're on for that. And here we go. That's all of it,
That was
guys.
good. I enjoyed that.
was-
I enjoyed that.
That was very good.
So here,
Okay.
let me do something I've been wanting to do for a minute.
Hey, it's the Coog, aka the keeper of the voicemail for a pickle and companion. You've called 985-28 Squid. If this is an emergency, you've called the wrong number. Otherwise, leave a message for the Squids.
What's up, Squids? It's Brock. I am just calling in to say I have really enjoyed being a part of this podcast. Thank you for letting me be a part of a Pickle Home Companion. Jared, Pete, Kevin, you guys are super cool to fold me into this, week after week. I really appreciate it. All right, bye. Should I have said love you?
Well, we know you love us. It's
Or
fine.
hugs
I
and
do.
kisses would have been accepted. Too.
Hugs and kiss smooches.
Yeah.
Hey, do we have any voicemails?
We don't because Kevin has to find
that's
those.
the problem.
Okay, there we go.
But before we go to the Jared and Pete Brockless pod, we do
Right.
need a sign off.
That's right. Yeah, we actually do. That's the news from Lake Scabagon, where all the MP3s are strong, all the burned CDRs are good looking, and all of the Elms records are above average.
Yeah, hey, onward pickle soldier.
Perfect podcast, guys. A perfect podcast.
That's right. That's right.
Mr. Kevin.